There had been some mention from Epic staff of not pursuing games that are already up on Steam to avoid controversy, but after discussion, Epic says it still plans to offer devs on Steam the option to go Epic Games Store exclusive. This all comes from a Twitter conversation spotted by VG247 this week between Tim Sweeney and a handful of folks on Twitter, where Sweeney explains that this clause must be up to developers and publishers. At DD a couple of weeks ago, Epic's Steve Allison said that the company wanted to avoid situations where devs pull games from Steam to jump over to Epic, something that came up after that first Metro Exodus exclusivity deal attracted a fair amount of criticism for switching platforms, after it had already been up for pre-order on Steam. Since then, however, Sweeney says that the Epic team has had a lot of discussions about this since DD, and decided that the company is open to continuing to sign funding exclusivity deals with willing developers and publishers regardless of their previous plans or announcements around Steam. Edison's DD comments prompted further discussions at Epic, tweeted Sweeney, leading to the realization that this clause must be up to developers and publishers, and Epic would not tell them no on account of existing statements made about Steam. Electronic Arts has publicly acknowledged an issue in the PlayStation 4 version of Anthem that causes the game to crash the entire system, and the publisher is looking to players to help gather information on what's causing the crash. There's now a topic on its official forum asking PS4 players that have experienced a hard crash to share information on their console and play session just before the crash occurred. Currently, the thread has racked up a little over 1,200 replies since it went live last night. We are currently in process of gathering information about the PS4 issues so we can determine the root cause, reads the post. If you are experiencing hard crashes of your console, please reply with the following information: PlayStation console, PS4, Slim, Pro, P8, crash info. When does the crash take place? Are you having to take specific steps to get your PlayStation going again? And have you reported your crash data when prompted? The issue itself is more than just a frequent game crash. Anthem players have been reporting that the game will at times shut down the entire PlayStation 4 console and leave the system unresponsive for several minutes after. When the system does boot back up, it displays the same sort of warning you typically see after manually unplugging PlayStation 4 while it's powered on in rest mode. Game Design Deep Dive is an ongoing Gamasutra series with the goal of shedding light on specific design features or mechanics within a video game, in order to show how seemingly simple fundamental design decisions are not really that simple at all. Check out earlier installments on the unique touchscreen control, Ophelix, and on the planned growing mechanics of Grow Home. Also, do not miss this developer-minded looks at the tutorial system in Roguelike and Amnesia's Sanity Meter from our ever-growing Deep Dive archive. I am a game designer with 40 years industry experience and led positions on many AAA titles on a wide variety of genres, including third-person action-adventure games, film licenses, racing games, first-person shooters, platformers, and simulation games. Most recently, I was the lead designer on Alien Isolation, which released October of last year, and is still scaring people. According to my Twitter feed, I have often answered questions on the game systems, the choice of crafting approach, the level design, and of course, the alien itself. Of all the systems, entities, mechanics, and designs that have met Alien, Isolation's a an immersive game. One mechanic often causes a big reaction from people, and as mundane as it sounds, it is the save system. Who would have thought that such a choice would trigger such passionate reactions from players around the world? It turns out, if you get even a simple mechanic right, you can trigger exactly that. The save system in Alien Isolation took a rather drastic, and some would say old-school, approach to saving. We have no soft saves, or checkpoints in the game. The only way of saving is to locate a terminal in the world, put in your access card, wait for the systems in the fictional machine to warm up, and then wait for the 3 simple lights to blink off, all the while knowing that you could be killed at any moment. When we first approached the save system, we had the usual checkpoints and menu-based saves. We looked at the games we were all playing, and spent some time balancing when the saves occur and how often. Like any development team, we all play a lot of games and each have our favorites. Often our decisions and choices are colored by the games we played, and our own personal preferences. On this occasion, I was set on using a checkpoint system, with hard saves every now and then. For me, it worked in games like the Dead Space series, Metroid games and BioShock, and was a simple system to understand. However, sometimes, simple to understand is not the right approach when you are making a game that is designed from its core to terrify and put people on edge. One of my favorite game mechanics of all time is the active reload system from Gears of War. I was fortunate enough to meet his inventor, one Clifford Michael Blaschinski, at an event we were both working at a few years back. I asked him if he had invented it, and he confirmed it was him, and he added how surprised he was that other games had not copied it more. After a good chat, where we went through games that could have used it, we went our separate ways. The reason I like this mechanic so much is that it added a huge level of emotion to a previously simple interaction. Pressing a don't reload was a staple of many games. It became an annoyance rather than an interaction. In some cases, the most emotional thing you could get from it was that man's click, aim, fire, and then nothing, aside from the realization that you have an empty clip. With the active reload system, if you perfected the timing, you did more damage and got a faster reload. Damn, I am good. You would think as a satisfying glow appeared on your ammo and you were able to start mowing down the locust clicker. The flip side is the feeling of dread as you messed it up, a jammed weapon, a longer reload, a lost chance at bonus damage. It was risk versus reward in the simplest form, and it worked a treat. The question I found myself asking was, could a simple interaction like saving trigger such emotion? Now, I would love to say that it was all my idea, and that this was the plan all along, but alas, it was not. During development, one of our designers, our senior, by the name of Simon Adams, came to me with a pitch for a manual save system. I said no many times. What we'll have is fine. It seemed to me like too much change, a hassle, and a lot of work on a game environment. We would have to place terminals everywhere, change the art for the affected areas, and change the code for the save system. Then there was the alien. For those who have not played the game, or do not already know, our alien is systematic. It is an entity that works under its own logic, hunting for signs of the player, other humans on board, and anything it can kill. It adapts to the player's movement, choices, weapons, and makes some interesting design possible. It was the question of what to do with the alien when we saved that raised the debate of save points again. When I get to a soft checkpoint, and the alien is about to kill me, What happens when I come back in? Is he still there? We had two clear options. One option meant not doing anything, which would trigger an infinite loop of dying and respawning. The other option was to remove the alien on the load, which would mean sprinting to a checkpoint was a valid tactic, as after he killed the player, they were safe again. Neither of these were good enough, and neither supported the car gameplay. Simon again pitched his manual save idea,